Hi, first graders. Happy Wind Down Wednesday. I'm so glad you're here with us this evening. Find someplace cozy to sit and we will get started. Yesterday in math class, we discussed 2D shapes and 3D shapes. We're going to be learning more about 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Yesterday, we spent time discussing some popular 2D shapes. 2D shapes include squares, triangles, rectangles, and circles. And we made a shape monster yesterday. It was so much fun making those shape monsters, and I'm looking forward to looking closer at your shape monsters and identifying or finding how many of each different type of shape you used. So tonight I thought we would read a story about monsters. This story is called Monster Manners. And I also thought this was a great book to read because I was telling your families about how everyone in our class uses such great manners. I noticed that we do a great job at using the word please and thank you. And we show respect to everyone in our class community. I wonder what monster manners are. Tell someone at home what you think monster manners might be. Take a look at the picture on the cover. We even see a waiter saying, "Oh!" We've discussed speech bubbles before, and here is a speech bubble. These are the monsters. Keep thinking about what you think monster manners are. Monster Manners by Joanna Cole, illustrated by Jared Lee. This story is to Rachel, so the author and illustrator were thinking about that person when this book was written. Rosie Monster looked like a perfect little monster. She had nice, strong teeth and sharp little claws and green eyes that glowed in the dark. Rosie had just one problem. What do you think Rosie's one problem is? Share with someone at home. You might use the sentence starter. I think Rosie's one problem is... Her one problem is she was always forgetting her monster manners. She looks like a friendly monster. Monsters are supposed to fight with their friends and break each other's toys. Oh my! Yeah! Rosie played nicely with everyone. This made her mother very unhappy. Why is that so silly? Most mothers are very happy when they see their children showing respect to people's toys and playing nicely. But this monster mom isn't too happy with Rosie being so kind. Monsters are supposed to growl loudly when they answer the phone. Everyone, make a phone with your hand. It's the same way that we make a connection wiggle. We hold out Our thumb and our pinky go like this. And everyone say, grrr. Sounds good. Here we see a speech bubble saying, grrr. Rosie always forgot. And she said, hello, in a polite voice. And look at her big smile. Her father found this very upsetting. Oh, he's not happy about Rosie being polite on the phone. Monsters are supposed to chew up rocks to show how fierce they are. Good. Yummy. After one bite, Rosie would stop crunching and run for her toothbrush. Put your thumb up if you're brushing your teeth at home. It's so healthy. She didn't like the way the bits of rock got stuck between her teeth. One day when the family was out walking, Rosie even helped an old man cross the street. Do you think that filled his bucket? Sounds like it was a kind thing to do. You don't look as if you're 99. Thank you. So she was giving a bucket filling statement. During our morning meeting yesterday, we gave bucket filling compliments. Think about the compliment you got from someone and how it filled your bucket. And then also think about what you said to someone and how that filled their bucket. You might share with someone at home. Her mother and father shook their heads. Everyone shake your head. I'm afraid Rosie will never learn, said her father. How will she get along in the world? Asked her mother. So they're worried because she's not behaving like a monster. Poor child. While they were walking, Rosie's best friend, Prunella, came by. Oh, here's Prunella. Do you think Prunella is really good at having monster manners? If you think she has great monster manners, just by looking at the picture, put your thumb up. If you think that she is a kind monster, put your thumb in the middle. You have good manners, Prunella, said Rosie. Will you teach me? Sure, said Prunella. Hey, she used my favorite word. I love that word, sure, especially when I say or ask for a student in class to do something like, I need, or can you please put away the markers, or I need you to come to the rug. I love when students say, sure. Oh, hear Prunella saying, buzz off, arf. Oh my, that sounds like bucket tipping. Oh, but Rosie wants to learn from her. What a gal. So Rosie's parents are looking at Prunella, who has great monster manners, and they're hoping that Rosie learns from her. How silly. And so Prunella came over to give Rosie some lessons. Ready? Ready. You'll notice my voice goes up when I read this word because it ends in a question mark. Whenever we read a question, our voice goes up. Let's try reading that word together. Ready? Excellent. Now this one ends with a period, so we just say ready in a voice where our voice doesn't go up. Ready? Ready. The first lesson was making monster faces. Prunella showed Rosie how to make monster face number 1. Everyone, let's match. Monster face number 2. Monster face number 3. And monster face number 4. Then it was Rosie's turn. Do you think Rosie is going to do really well at making the monster faces, or do you think she's going to have some difficulty? Let's see. She tried monster face number 1. Looks like she has a nice big smile. Let me see your nice big smile. Then number 2. Oh, her smile's even bigger. Number 3. And number 4. Her tongue is even making a heart. That's terrible, said Prunella. Oh, so Prunella is not too happy with Rosie. Rosie did not do a nice job at making scary monster faces. Let's try something else. Maybe you're better at table manners. Prunella took Rosie to a restaurant and ordered lunch. Ooh, what's your favorite food to eat for lunch? May I see the menu, please? Oh, I love that word, please. Don't say please, Rosie. So Prunella is reminding her that monsters don't use good manners. Everyone fainted when Prunella started to eat. What a horrible sight! Oh my! Prunella is showing her monster manners at the table. We can see the waiter saying, oh! And over here, they're saying, how gross! The food is flying all over the place. Oh my goodness. It looks like Rosie's feeling shocked. Rosie forgot her monster manners, as usual. She used her napkin and her fork and spoon, and when she asked Prunella to pass the salt, she forgot again and said, please. Prunella was angry. You're not even trying, she said. That is so silly. Prunella is really persisting. She's really trying to have Rosie strengthen or get better at being a monster and showing monster manners. Prunella decided to give Rosie one more chance. This time, we will practice our visiting manners. She said, we'll drop in on my Uncle Ned. Let's about that word Ned, or that name Ned. Everyone, tapping fingers ready. Here we go. Ned. It's a CVC word. Consonant, vowel, consonant. We've been practicing writing consonant, vowel, consonant words on our Elkanin boxes. Prunella behaved perfectly for a monster. First, she rang the doorbell 10 times without stopping. Ooh, is she managing her impulsivity? I don't think so. Even when she heard her uncle say, come in. Oh my. Then Prunella knocked so hard the door fell down. She went inside and jumped up and down on her uncle's favorite chair. Well, she sure is showing monster manners. She spilled a vase of flowers on the rug. Let's tap and blend that word. Rug. R-U-G. Rug. And finally, she stepped very hard on Uncle Ned's foot. Uncle Ned was proud of Prunella. Good. Why is that so silly that he was proud of her? Yeah, exactly. We know that we have to keep our whole body to ourselves, right? It dips people's bucket if we're not keeping our hands and feet to ourselves. But Uncle Ned was proud of Prunella. But Rosie said, how do you do? And sat quietly on the sofa. Uncle Ned was horrified. He asked Prunella to take her friend home until she could learn better manners. Prunella threw up her hands. I did my best, Rosie, she said. I can't do any more. Rosie hung her head. How was Rosie feeling? Oh, we can even see a thought bubble, heartbroken. she feels so sad that she is having difficulty with monster manners. For the first time, Rosie realized how unhappy she had made everyone. And now she felt unhappy too. So she thinks that she dipped all these people's buckets, or all these monsters' buckets, because she is not showing monster manners. Oh, and she's saying, gads. It's showing that she's frustrated with Rosie for not showing monster manners. When Rosie and Prunella got to the monster's house, they saw a big mess. A pipe had broken and water was pouring everywhere. Help! Cried Rosie. Ooh, you'll notice that I said that with excitement because there's an exclamation mark at the end. We're getting flooded! Rosie's mother and father came running. Rosie's mother called the plumber and growled into the phone. The plumber hung up. Grrr! Click! So the plumber hung up on her. Why did the plumber hang up on Mama Monster? Let's keep reading. Rosie's father called and roared into the phone. The plumber hung up harder. Grrr! Click! Prunella tried too, but the same thing happened. Click! They were getting nowhere and the water was getting deeper. Oh my. Something had to be done and Rosie did it. Without thinking, she dialed the phone and she said in her nice voice, "Hello, we have a leak at the monster's house. Can you come over, please?" What do you think the plumber will say to Rosie? What's your prediction? What's your guess using the clues and the picture? What do you think the plumber will say? You might say something like, I predict that. I'll be right there, said the plumber. Thank you, said Rosie. These three monsters are looking at Rosie. How do you think these three monsters are feeling now that Rosie helped them? After the plumber had left and everything was back to normal, Rosie's mother turned to Rosie's father. You know, dear, she said, Rosie's strange manners do come in handy sometimes. That means that they're helpful sometimes. Now, Rosie's mom is saying that Rosie's manners are strange because she doesn't behave like a monster. We're lucky to have her, said Rosie's father. Strange manners and all. I'm sure it filled her bucket to know that her mom and dad are so happy with her, even if she doesn't behave like a monster. They gave Rosie a hug and a kiss and sent her out to play. Mind your manners, dear, which means remember your manners, called Rosie's mother from the window. I will, mother, answered Rosie. The end. This was an extra silly book, and I'm so glad we read it together. We have 2 more books. You might want to save these stories for another evening, or you can continue to watch. Now, these are some books that I chose for this evening because some students during the month of October might have some of these candies around in their home. If not, you can just listen and practice some math skills. We're going to start with the M&M's Counting Book by Barbara Barbieri McGrath. The M&M's Counting Book. The M&M's Counting Book. Now you might have some of these candies at home, or you might just like to listen to the story. Pour out your candies. Get ready, get set. This counting book is the tastiest yet. Call out the colors. You'll find one that's new. Brown, green, orange, red, yellow, and blue. This certainly is a most colorful mix. Now sort them as I do and count up to 6. 1 blue. Here's a number word, and there's the digit to match. 2 green. 1, 2, 2. 3 orange. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 3. 4 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 5 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 6 brown. Good show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Let's count to 12 now. That's a dozen, you know. So another word for 12 is the word dozen. Bakers, people who bake, often will use the word dozen. Like, I need a dozen eggs for this recipe. Keep the 6 brown. Push the others aside. Please use these pictures and words as your guide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now add a blue to make 7. That's great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put a green near the middle. Now you have 8. Let me hear you count. 8. Add a red to your group to make 9, and then add the orange, and now we've already reached 10. Let me hear you count to 10. Excellent. Let me hear you count to 9. You'll notice that I'm pointing to each one. We know that helps us with being accurate, checking our work and making sure that it's correct. To get to 11, add a yellow one now. 11. Let me hear you count. Add a brown. That's 12. Great work. Take a bow. Everyone stand up and bow. You counted to 12. I knew that you could. Want to move on? I thought that you would. You can pause the video and count to 12. You can point on the screen to all of the M&Ms. Now put the 12 candies in a long line. We call this a set. You're doing just fine. 1 set of 12. Make 6 groups of 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 12. There are 6 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sets. 2 M&Ms in each set. Change them around to make 3 sets of 4. Count them. How many? Still 12 and no more. You can pause the video and practice counting to 12. Now it is time to make 4 sets of 3. There are still only 12, as you can see. So, friends, these M&Ms are being arranged or placed in different orders, but there's the same amount. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3 columns of M&Ms here, and in each column there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here we can see 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in each column there's 3 M&Ms. 1, 2, 3. Make 2 sets of 6 now. How did you do? You did that so well. Let's start something new. Here we see 2 rows of M&Ms. In each row, there's 6 M&Ms. Shape the 12 candies, please, into a square. Hey, we're learning about shapes. A square is one of the 2D shapes. A square has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. Please count them with care. Hey, does square and care rhyme? Yeah, they're part of the air word family. That means that they are rhyming words, and they have A-R-E in the middle and ending of the word. Change the square to a circle, the big round kind. A circle's beginning is so hard to find. There is no beginning or end to the circle, right? Because it just keeps going around. Let's make a triangle before we stop. Give it 3 sides and a point on top. Triangle. Now comes the part that will be the most fun. We'll start to subtract, so eat the blue one. 12 minus 1 equals 11. Count and you'll find you now have 11. Next, eat the brown. Go on, eat all 7. 11 minus 7 equals 4. Now you have 4 left, so please eat the green. The orange, red, and yellow still can be seen. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Next, eat the orange one, and after you do, how many are left? Oh dear, only 2. 3 minus 1 equals 2. You'll notice in this book that the number 2 is written in a way where there's a little loop right here. In class, we've learned how to write the number 2 without that little loop. Now eat the yellow. It's second to last. Counting like this makes time fly by fast. How many are left? You're right, only 1. Eat the red. That is last. Now you are done. When none are left, it means there are 0. Everyone make a 0 with your hand. You've reached the end. You're the grand champion hero. You can pause the video and you can take a look at this page. You've done a great job and we're so proud of you. To help you remember, here's your review. This is a fun book. I'm going to read you only a few pages from the Skittles Riddles Math book. I'm only reading you a couple pages because some pages focus on skills that you will learn in different grades. Skittles Riddles Math by Barbara Barbieri McGrath, illustrated by Roger Glass. Here's the first riddle. Now get ready, let's go. What has 5 bright colors and tastes like a rainbow? There are 5 fruity colors in a bag of Skittles. Original bite-sized candy. What's your favorite flavor? Red is strawberry, yellow is lemon, green is lime, purple is grape, and orange is, well, orange. Hey, that reminds me. You might be wearing orange on Monday. We'll be learning about pumpkins, which are orange. Skittles are bite-sized and Skittles are fun. Pour them, sort them, math magic has begun. Skittles riddle. Why are Skittles, original bite-sized candies, always happy? What do you think? It's a riddle, which is like a joke. Because they're never blue. Blue is a different word or another word for unhappy. And we also know it is a color word. Choose one color to count. Let's compare. Is yours greater or less than the other numbers there? You can pause the video and count how many red Skittles and how many green. And then how many red and how many yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is greater than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When comparing the quantities or amounts of objects, the symbol less than means less than, and this symbol greater than means greater than. You can pause the video and try counting these Skittles and using the words greater than and less than when you see this symbol. Number sentences are easy if you know how to count. Now, friends, we normally in class don't say if something's easy because we know that it might not feel easy to everyone. But if you practice, you might feel really confident with your addition skills. The purple plus orange equals what total amount? This is called the sum. 12 plus 5 equals 17. Now make 3 more number sentences beginning with purple and adding another color. Can you solve these math mysteries? You can pause the video and read these addition sentences out loud and try to find the sum. Now use subtraction to take 9 from 16. Notice the symbol for subtraction in between. How many subtraction sentences can you make? Subtract the smaller number from the larger number. You can read these equations out loud. Ooh, we have a missing number here. You could make a number bond to figure that out. 16 is the whole minus one of the parts will equal 4. What is the missing part? If you want to get tricky, use a number line to subtract the larger number from the smaller number. Confused? Keep reading. Did you know math problems could be riddles? Try this one. 16 Skittles candies minus how many equals 4? Answer, 16 minus 12 makes 4. Friends, it was fun reading from our Skittles Riddles math book. As I said, I only am reading a few pages because the rest of the book focuses on fractions, which are some math skills that you will be practicing in some other grades or much later on in first grade. It was so much fun to read this story with you, and I'm excited to continue to practice our addition and subtraction skills. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Kiss your brain, and I will see you tomorrow at morning meeting. Good night.